You need someone to show you your place in all this. That's where I come in. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. We've got 3v3 coming up, and whether or not you love the game mode, it's something we've got to do for crystals. Am I right? Maybe you don't. Maybe you want to just take the total season off, but I am releasing a 3v3 defensive teams video, and sometimes I get flack from people saying, hey, I don't have all these characters, I don't have all this stuff, and I guess all I have to say is I realize that. I'm not trying to rub it in your face. However, I do think it's wise to pay attention to the meta teams that the bigger accounts are using, so you can kind of have a goal of what teams to build if that's something you're interested in. And that also being said, I'm also going to be releasing a 3v3 offense and defenses core video to show everything that I'm using for my alternate account, which is still a big account but only has 2 galactic legends, so hopefully you'll find a little more approachable stuff, and at least you'll see a little bit of my strategy, and I explain a little bit more perhaps in that video, though it is significantly longer. Hopefully it's a little more approachable. If you want to wait for another day, that's fine. Go watch the defensive teams video if you want to as well, though. That'll be released at the same time as this. It'll be linked in the video description, or there'll be a link at the end of this video. That being said, folks, ooh, there's a sneak peek of the defensive team's thumbnail. Look at that. If you want to support the channel for free, all you've got to do is hit that like, subscribe, and or comment button. Leave a comment. Help me mount the algorithm, folks. Really helps the channel. I really appreciate all of you helping to mount. Let's get over to the game, and we'll talk about some of these teams. Now, I'm trying my very best. Gosh, let's not show mods, guys. So we're trying my very best to not have overlap, okay, on all these teams that we're going to be using. So these are offensive teams, and on the defensive side, there might be a couple teams that work for both. So I try to show both of those. But that being said, let's go for Supreme Leader Kylo first. We've got all the galactic legends, and I think on offense, he's probably going to be best here. Now, I think my very favorite version of him in 3v3 is probably with Crew and Hux. However, I think that in 3v3 you don't necessarily need to use Daka and Zombie on their own team. Sometimes you'd want to. I mean, my alternate account does, definitely, but here's the thing, you can get more mileage out of your teams this way, and a lot of times, old Daka and Zombie, if you're taking out the teams that you want to, like against Rey, for instance, Rey is only going to be able to target Zombie as long as Zombie is taunting, and it's easy to keep Zombie taunting as long as Kylo does his AoE and gives advantage, etc. And so, at the end of the day, he's just going to take time to ramp damage and casually kill things, while old Daka and Zombie just kind of mostly stay healthy. You drop a few banners, but you're mostly good to go. There are other comps that you probably want to be able to block turn meter gain, so you want to take Hux with them, and therefore I like to keep this Hux team with First Order TIE Pilot available for that, just in case I need to switch and mix and match. Now, one of the things about my strategy is having a really flexible offense so that I can switch a lot of these teams in and out. So having this team, like the Hux team with First Order TIE Pilot, is actually fairly good on defense as well in 3v3. There's a few teams that'll beat it, of course, but this team can do some pretty nasty stuff, and the only reason I keep it for offense is to be able to take out, or to be able to mix and match Hux to go with Supreme Leader Kylo. All of that being said, this is a pretty good defensive team. It's a good offensive team to take out teams that have a lot of turn meter gain, because Hux denies that. And you can even at the top levels, if you want to put enough speed on them, they can even sometimes counter Supreme Leader Kylo. They can counter Starkiller. Just because SK Starkiller has some of the same letters as SLKR, Supreme Leader Kylo, does not mean that they should get Delusions of Grandeur. Now, Jedi Master Kenobi, this is a team that could easily be on defense. However, I do like it on offense in the Age of the Hutt, with Jabba the Hutt out there, especially as soon as the Afra-Kron goes away, which will be next season. Then we're not going to have a whole lot of teams that are going to easily beat the Hutt, and therefore I think Jedi Master Kenobi is a pretty nice match for that, especially with the current Datacron set 6, where Ahsoka Ahsoka is able to just one-shot Chrysanthemum where he won't even come back because she, as a scoundrel, denies revives. Pretty nice comp. I just like the Kenobi sandwich, or maybe it's the Ahsoka sandwich, whatever it is. It sounds a little bit lewd, to be honest, but what's a man to do? Just insert lewdness into the video, I suppose. Now, Jedi Master Luke, here's the thing, guys. This team, every version of Jedi Master Luke gets destroyed by, like, pretty half-assed dash teams. And there's a few different teams. Like, Afro will beat it. A lot of different teams, in fact, can beat this when it's on defense. And so I like it on offense. Even though, in 3v3, man, Jedi Master Luke just kind of struggles a little bit. I like Jolie here just in case, like, Yoda just keels over. Or sometimes even just Jedi Master Luke dies, and Jolie's like, not to worry, I brought my sewing kit, and sews up Jedi Master Luke and brings him back to life. So I kind of like this version of the team. I mean, it's not the most powerful, but it allows you to have a little bit of versatility. I think if I was facing a really strong, like, Supreme Leader Kylo team or something, I would probably just take Jedi Knight Luke or something like that, just to make things a little bit easier. But I think at its basic level, this is pretty good on offense. On defense, you definitely want to put Barriss there, but you're not putting him on defense because I said so. Now, I did put Supreme Leader, or Sith Eternal Emperor, Backpack Emperor on defense as well, with Crew as a suggestion, just because that'll stop Wampa from one-shotting you. However, Sith Eternal Emperor is the one guy who's like, well, he'll kill the ads for any team out there, or he'll just kill the whole team depending on what team you're facing. And so I like him on offense just because you get high banners against a lot of different teams. Sometimes WAD isn't even necessary. He's just very versatile on offense, and then on defense, he just dies to so much stuff. He could really use a lifter unit, guys. He and Jedi Master Luke are kind of in contention for who needs a lifter the most. I think Sith Eternal Emperor, though, on offense is, I mean, it's so nice. Like, he'll kill everything, basically. And then if he can't kill, he won't kill Jabba, he won't kill... he'll kill Supreme Leader Kylo, actually, if you do it with Armorer instead of Watt. You have to do Thrawn. It's a whole thing. I can't explain it right now. But you can kill Supreme Leader Kylo. The two he can't kill are Lord Vader and Jabba. And even those he'll kill the ads so that you can have an easy cleanup. Now, I've made a whole video about this Gidme squad, folks, and the only variable that you can actually not take with you is probably, you could take R2-D2 out and add some other Galactic Republic support unit, and that's about it. You guys can watch the video. It's just called Gidme, or it's called The Team You Need, something like that. I made it a month ago. You guys can go search it. It's very potent on offense. You just need to have a pretty fast Gideon to go along. It works a lot better in 3s than in 5s, I'll say that too. Now, Maul with Canderous. Right now we have a set 6 Datacron that makes Canderous crazy because we have the armor shred and all the different things that go with that. Now, sometimes we're going to want someone else here. I put the armor here because that's kind of the default. Sometimes you put the armor as the lead, in fact. I've made a whole video on Mandalorians and how to use them. I would highly advise checking that out. In 3v3 works, you can kill every Galactic Legend. I killed Jedi Master Kenobi last time with, I mean, it was a little bit sketch, but I managed to do it. Needed to use Jango instead of armor, but managed to do it. You can kill every Galactic Legend with this. Maybe not Lord Vader, but it's really solid on offense. And I think now that Lord Vader doesn't have a Kron that just demands Maul's presence, I think that this is going to be a pretty good team on offense. I mean, I do think it, and that's what I did almost all last season, I think. Now, I do like this Starkiller version because you check all the boxes, of course, to let his unique work, but you have Darth Vader, who is able to just do his merciless massacre and have Starkiller follow him around like a lost puppy, and Ninth Sister, who has a Datacron that causes AoE fear, which is super nice. So against this will get max banners against most General Skywalker squads. There are a lot of other teams that it can work on, but that also frees up your Emperor Palpatine and Mara Jade for other adventures. Will this team be as good once set 6 goes away? I'm not sure. The AoE fear has been extremely timely and strong. However, I do like the idea that everyone with Inquisitors has access to this team. We'll be exploring this probably next 3v3 season, but for now, this takes out all of the General Skywalker teams pretty easily and can probably transition to be a Galactic Legend killer as well, if that's what you need. The Veer's team is going to be interesting, guys. We're going to see a lot of CLS with Chupio squads out there, and I think... I'm not sure entirely. I think this team is still going to just kill that CLS team, frankly. I think as long as you can one-shot CLS from the get-go, then Chupio is going to inevitably succumb to destruction, I hope. I'm not sure. We're going to explore that, but this team is extremely valuable in 3v3. I'm extremely excited to see what all happens. With the 20% turn meter cron, though, this team is going to go first most times, and it's going to kill a lot of stuff. Now, I put this Grand Inquisitor team on defense as well. The thing is, yes, it'll kill a lot of things. It also really struggles against things that I thought were going to be pretty easy last season. Like, you're not going to kill Jabba with it. You're not going to kill a lot of Galactic Legends. Though you might be able to take out, like, I don't know, like Supreme Leader Kylo, depending on what, how he's modded and what the comp is and everything. This team can do a lot of good. It also has the highest percentage success rate against General Skywalker teams. That being said, I keep saying that being said, this team is, it'll take out a lot of stuff, and you can also heal your protection pretty well between Seventh Sister and the AoE on Grand Inquisitor. I do think that, obviously honestly, the crazy thing is, the best success rate is with Fifth Brother here against General Skywalker teams instead of Ninth Sister. Seems like you'd want Ninth Sister, but not so much. The Horn Chinian can be left out. Now, Hondo on offense, guys. We have one more season of this Kron, or 2 more seasons, I guess, 5v5 as well. But if you want him on offense, he'll take out Malgus teams. He'll take out a ton of stuff. And what I discovered was, because I'm not really using Boba anywhere, he's powering up Hondo's big offense by just giving him what is it, like just 50% offense, something like that, or 50% crit damage, yeah, and some crit chance. That's fine, but Boba's gonna die probably, though he does have 2 lives. And then you put the Geobrood Alpha here, and I know that it's a little bit expensive. You're like kind of tying up 3 teams potentially if you normally would do that, and I know the Geos, a lot of people still like them, but I do like the idea of having a tank that you can regrow, and overall you just want to give Hondo time to generate enough stacks that he just solos an entire team. It kills Malgus, kills General Skywalker. There are a lot of teams that it takes out. It will, of course, lose you a lot of banners because his ads inevitably die, but he won't, and he'll laugh about it. You'll all be laughing. Ha 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 ha. Just like Nala. So, all of these Jedi teams kind of coalesce into, you can take Jedi Revan, Jedi Luke, and Mace. This team will take out like Supreme Leader Kylo sometimes. This is a really versatile team. Takes out a ton of different squads, and with Revan as the lead, you're guaranteed to have at least 1 turn where you go because of Savior being triggered. This is a really strong team and very versatile. I like it on offense. On defense, you can just take it out pretty easily with, like, I don't know. I used to say Treya, but back before Treya had her Omicron. Now with the Omicron, Treya's kind of overkill, but not too bad of a squad on offense for sure. Afra on offense in 3v3 seems pretty much like a foregone conclusion. Don't put the Omis on the droids. They are not worth it in 3v3, in my opinion. She obviously has an Omicron, but that only works for 5v5, and this will kill, if you have the Datacron, this will kill most GLs, like even Lord Vader. It'll just take out a lot of stuff. However, on defense, it just dies to Han, like lots of different versions of Han Chewie. Now, I will say, if you put it on defense and put a ton of really tanky stuff on Afra, this team can really get a lot of holds, and it can kill an entire roster. At least in 5v5. In 3s, she still always goes first because of her unique. So, I mean, this is a good team on defense sometimes, but if your opponent takes Han and Chewie, then usually you just destroy this squad, to be honest. I've seen people put like L3 here instead of 000. I don't know. I didn't have much trouble with that, to be honest. Afra doesn't get as much turn meter, etc. Now, we do have this Dash squad, and I like this version of this team just because the AI just doesn't like to target Rendar. They're like, no, he's a Wookiee, like, he's an endangered species. We need to just let him roam free, and it's like, well, thank you. I guess I'll take advantage of your, goodwill. This is ridiculous. So, like, this team will kill a lot of different squads. I mean, young Han Solo ramps up so nice, and I know that I used to have Landino on the squad, and I mean, the squad still works with Landino, and I'm kind of just sad because Landino's Relic 8, but young Han Solo ramps his damage so nicely. If you're taking out Jedi Master Luke, or, you know, like Jedi Master Kenobi even sometimes, because they'll never target Vandor with Cat's big hit. For whatever reason, they just won't. This team will take him out. Remember, if you're trying to take out Kenobi's squad, don't attack a Kenobi squad that has the Scoundrel permanent death thing, because Vandor's like, hey, I can revive pretty good, but I can't revive against that nonsense. Now, this squad can be mixed and matched with a lot of different characters and squads, including, I really do like Dash with Hondo Onaka, in fact. Gives him a nice little boost and everything, but yeah, this squad is good as currently constructed. It'll take out a lot more stuff than you might think. Now, this Bam Han Chewie team, I think this is my favorite version just because it kills a lot of different of the General Skywalker versions, though the best General Skywalker version probably still not going to work. I mean, this does work against Afra, though I will say, if you face an Afra squad, if you have the turn meter gain datacron on set 6, that you gain 100% turn meter for doing a basic, you probably want to use Dash Han Chew to kill Afra, so that your Han gets 3 turns in a row and Chewie gets 3 assists in a row, etc. That's what I would advise, at least, if you were to go about that. Wampa womps things, you guys know the drill by now. Newt and company on offense. This is a pretty good squad as well. With my Jingo modded for health, it's not quite as potent, but it does kill that pesky Qui-Gon Jinn team at a pretty decent rate, even if it's not faster than the Qui-Gon Jinn team. So probably worth a look on offense. On defense, you kill it with Mon Mothma, so probably want to keep it on offense at this point. It's been solved. Treya, man, I put her on offense here, but on defense, she's also really strong. Like, I don't know what kills her on defense. You have to find some way to take her out quickly, otherwise you guys are just going to ramp, and it's going to be a bad day. Sometimes you want to swap out Scion for, like, Thrawn or Sith Empire Trooper, just to make sure that people don't focus down Nihilus. I think that's the biggest threat, is Nihilus builds to have a crazy health pool, but eventually, that happens eventually, not immediately, and so if you can find a way to just nuke Nihilus instantly, then life can be good. Like, I might even take, like a Troopers team in here, because if I could just take a couple turns before the rest of them, and then just delete Nihilus before he can actually move, then I'll probably eventually end up beating the rest of this squad, most likely. Maybe not, but I think Troopers might work if it's on defense. So on offense, just keep in mind, protect Nihilus, and you'll be good. Sortie is going to be, I don't know, put her on defense, put her on offense. I think I put her on defense as well, just because she's going to be so obnoxious with her level 9 Datacron. You need a Relic 7 to do that. I know that not everyone is going to have her as that. I am going to be working on this squad to have it available for my alternate account, because Sortie is just so strong. It's already tough to time out again. Like it's tough for her because or it's tough to beat her because she'll time you out with squads like Wampa, with a lot of things. And now with her Datacron keeping everyone alive forever, it is just super obnoxious. So on defense, I think there's going to be a lot of holds with this team. I think on offense, though, I think you're going to be able to start seeing them kill a few Galactic Legends at least. So I'm very interested to see. IG-11 obviously has his own cron that's actually, it's decent, so maybe he'll want to go there, but I like this version just because we have a taunt here, so that if the only way around the whole extra parts things is if you can kill IG-11, then, or if you can kill someone, then you can kill Sortie as the next kill, and she doesn't have the parts, so you can take her out that way. She's got that weakness. Now, Emperor Palpatine with Mara Jade, they're awkward with, IPD is weird in 3v3 with this current cron, so I would say, like, Shore Trooper is probably a best all-comers thing, but if you have IPD at Relic 7 like I do with the Datacron, you could probably find a way to shoehorn him in and have this team be pretty effective. On defense, yes, Mara Jade can be really fast, but a lot of people are going to be able to find ways around that. This team can be okay on defense, but I think that I like it more on offense. Mon Mothma at this point, so you don't have Cara Dune anymore, because Kara's off with Sana dallying and doing weird stuff, I think. So Mon Mothma with Kyle Katarn still very, very solid on offense. Gonna, put Pow here, put Hoth Rebel Soldier here, put probably just those two, frankly. Like Biston, I think, is probably another one that's really good. This team is really good if you don't have super high expectations, but it'll beat a lot of teams that'll surprise you, like a lot of like the Beskar, Mando teams and stuff. Like this team, as long as you know how to use it, it can do pretty well. It can also clean up a lot of different Galactic Legends and stuff, even in 3v3. Now the Kira Kron is also going to be good. I like her with Veteran Han Solo, just because all of those staggers that they cause do 35% max health damage, and everyone's going to be prepared. It's going to be kind of a mess. I don't know how good they're going to be on offense with this specific comp. Maybe we want Landino for a little extra punch or something, but the Kira Kron is pretty good, and we're going to be figuring that out. This is my first attempt. I don't know if I love it, frankly, guys. On defense, it probably isn't going to do that much, frankly. Iden, you guys know what Iden kills. She does a lot of cool stuff. She dies to Wampa if she's on defense, though, so I like to keep her on offense. So this is the Fennec team. This will kill some Lord Vader squads, frankly. This will kill a lot of different teams. As long as you can get the Disintegrate pretty early, it works. You can also put Mando as lead and get your contract kind of quick that way. I don't know, I should probably just apply his lead Zeta at some point. Now, Rose has a Datacron, and I got her to Relic 7, and I don't know, guys. I don't know where she goes for 3v3. I mean, I know you guys watch this to get the most cutting-edge comps, and I just, like, she's in such a weird place. Like, Zori already has a really, really strong team, and I don't want to disrupt that. So, I mean, right now, Rose with Jedi Training Ray, I'm not applying her Omicron, which is probably a really important thing for this team. I'm guessing this team just gets gunned down by a lot of stuff before they even move. So, I'm not really recommending it. This is kind of just a placeholder of like, well, we'll figure it out throughout this season. But Rose is really good in 5s at the very least with her current Datacron. And, with Zori and her Omicron out there, I mean, I think that Rose is going to start being a more and more viable character in the future, as crazy as that sounds. Just more Nice Sister stuff. I mean, if you have more Nice Sisters, you can do this, whatever. Just kill stuff with it, I guess, guys. The Omicron gets you good banners sometimes. And if you have Old Daka here instead of Spirit, you can actually just take out a lot of General Grievous squads as long as they don't have a really good Datacron. Now, Basti with these two are just like desperate mode teams, honestly, folks. Like, I like this Basti team because all three of them have a Dispel, and they can hit pretty hard. They have a lot of hit points. They'll be able to take out a lot of mid-range teams that you're going to run into in the back zone. I do like this team quite a bit. It's just, I don't know, against the nonsense that I have to face, this team will rarely come into play. They're just kind of leftovers and a good Jedi that we don't find much use for. Like, also, if your Jedi Revan team is, like, good to go on, like if they don't need Mace can fill in really nicely here instead of Ezra, and this team will start killing a lot of stuff with Mace, just because Mace will wear a team down. Now, we have the Jawa team. I mean, they'll kill a lot of stuff if they can survive long enough. They'll kill, like, I've killed Mandalorian teams with them and stuff. If you have them relic, then I guess go for it. Otherwise, do what you will, my friends. Your mileage may vary. I do like this as a desperation, like Mon Mothma killer. It'll kill most Mon Mothma teams for pretty severely awful banners. The higher relics you have, the better. And if you really want to, in 3s, it's a little more awkward, but you could swap out Engineer, put Nebbit as the not main character. You could put Barriss as the lead, and then this team will survive a little bit longer, but you apply way fewer thermals because they have fewer choices to hit, and if they're hitting Barriss, they're not applying thermals on themselves. So, that being said, folks, this is my offensive squads, teams. Let's go talk about defense now. So thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zereth prevails.